Hi, my name is Candace, and I am on the Citrus Twist Kits design team. And I wanted to welcome you to lesson number 1. So, for lesson number 1, we are talking about looking at your stamp sets like ephemera packs. So, when you look at your stamp set, I want you to think about the icons and the sentiments that you can use to create your own custom embellishments. So as you can see, I'm creating a 2-page 6x8 and 3x8 spread, and this is just going to go in my album. I create story albums every year for my kids and for me, and it just kind of gives a good idea about what's going on in our lives right now. So as I looked at this stamp, this is the retail therapy stamp that is in the shop. And first I took the treat yourself stamp and I went ahead and stamped that on a piece of acetate and also on a piece of cardstock. I wasn't sure yet how I wanted to use that one, so I just stamped it out twice. And then I also stamped the little tag out that says purchased, because I did know that I wanted to use that as a die cut or embellishment in one of the clear pockets on these 2x2 pockets. I also took one of the stamps and just stamped right on the photo. I am using Stays On ink, so that's perfect to use on top of photos. Sometimes it can be a little sticky, but if you get it nice and the stamp nice and wet, it usually is perfectly fine. So here you can see there is a few stamps on this 4x6 stamp set that work really well for pattern making. And I thought that when I was creating this 2x2 card, I thought that I might want to do a few different patterns as opposed to just the stripes. So I stamped that whole thing out, and because when I was stamping, I didn't want to get my head in the frame, I wasn't directly over the paper, so it was really hard for me to see to get it all lined up. So I didn't like that it was just a little off center, and so I went ahead and I just put that aside. But I did want a little bit more pattern paper and a little bit more color. So I had some pink in these photos from the watch and from the Victoria's Secret bag, and so I had this pink paper that came in the Citrus Twist documenter kit or pocket page kit, and I wanted to include that. So I went ahead and I cut all those papers on an angle, and then I would be able to add just a little bit more color without keeping it all monochromatic. I felt like it just added a little bit more pops of color and brought out the photos a little bit more. I also took the list stamp that I had stamped on that 2x2 pocket and also the little tag. I cut it out and then ran them through my typewriter and added just a few journaling there. I listed the top places that I like to shop and placed that on the list card. And then for my journaling on the 3x8 insert, I went ahead and did that in Photoshop and then printed that out. And then I'm just going to end up sliding that into the left side pocket. So I took the stamp and stamped retail therapy on that. And then I am going to adhere that to the top of that 3x8 journaling card. So on that list, I went ahead and after I stamped it, I didn't like exactly the shape of it in the pocket. It was a little off center, and so I decided to round the edges on that just to make it fit the layout a little bit better, and I like how that turned out. Right now I'm going to go ahead and look through all my fun Citrus Twist Kits embellishments and find any embellishments that will work with this spread, anything pink or black, and I find these little plus signs that fit just perfectly. So I usually like to work in rules of threes, so I'm going to find 3 places to place those little plus signs around the spread. One place is on that acetate sheet that I had stamped on, and then I'll add one to the 3x8 journaling card on the left hand side, and I think I also add one to the little tag on the far upper right. So here I am showing you, I had a bunch of cork pieces that came in one of the kits, and on the opposite side the sentiment just didn't match what I was working on for this spread. So I took that StazOn ink and I took sentiments that would work for my spread, and I went ahead and just stamped it on the opposite side. So definitely, if you're looking at the stuff in your kits or in your stash or wherever and it just doesn't match exactly what you're doing, try thinking outside the box and how you can make it work for what you need that spread to say, and the feelings that are in that spread, and what the theme that you have going on in that spread, because most of the time almost anything can be altered to fit. So here you'll see I found another spot for those pink plus signs, and then I added 3 of those cork pieces, so again working in sets of 3, and that completes the first layout for lesson 1. So you can go ahead and read in the lesson some tips and tricks, and I can't wait to see what you create. Here at the end of the video I'll have some still photos, and if you have any questions just let us know. Thanks, have a fabulous day, and I will see you in lesson 2. Thanks, bye-bye.